Tonight, an entire city forced to leave. Yellowknife told to evacuate as wildfires creep terrifyingly close. And handed over. Servers looking to pocket more of their tips push for new provincial regulations.
You're always asking, you're mushing.
Plus, Sitting Down with Musham, a Cree children's show out of Saskatoon, teaches language and culture.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It's Thursday, August 17th. CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. Hello, I'm Natasha Lipney. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in the Northwest Territories, where fires are threatening Yellowknife. Every resident, that's more than 20,000 people, has been ordered to leave.
The city is not in immediate danger, and there is a safe window for residents to leave the city by road and by air. We are asking all those residents to be evacuated by Friday at noon.
The evacuation is now underway in stages. People living in parts of the city with the highest fire risk are going first. This is what it looked like at Yellowknife Airport as residents prepared to go. People who need assistance will be flown out and have to register before they leave. Others are traveling by convoy along the only highway that's still open, making their way to Alberta. The CBC's Sarah Levitt is on the ground there.
What can I get you guys?
Some snacks and some drinks for the people here who are trying to evacuate via airplane. Hundreds of people are here and have been here since early this morning, hoping to register to get out of Yellowknife via airplane. Of course, there are these people trying to get out. They're the people that do not have vehicles. There are hundreds others, thousands in fact, that are taking the highway out for the long trek. It is scary and it is frustrating for these people. The weather is not cooperating in the sense of the fire itself, but also there's rain and it's quite cold. Are you worried about what you saw out there doing the work you were doing?
I think the alarm went off yesterday on my phone at 9 o'clock last night, the emergency. That kind of, it gave me a little spook. It makes you realize that when you see all this, I honestly want to get out of here.
It's quite scary because with the smoke, of course, it's actually lightened up a little bit, but the smoke was very, very thick this morning. And so, I mean, it's not a good situation, that's for sure.
Officials say that they are still concerned that the fire could come to the city. Of course, a number of measures are being taken to try and stop that from happening, including fire breaks and sprinklers on the city outskirts. In the meantime, these people are just trying to get out and get to safety, worried about what will happen here, what will happen to their homes, but hoping that they will be safe. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Yellowknife.
Earlier today, Saskatchewan deployed an incident management team and 40 wildland firefighters to help on the front lines. The government says it's also prepared to provide temporary accommodation for evacuees. For now, many are heading south to Alberta. The CBC's Madeline Cummings is in High Level, where some evacuees have already arrived. She brings us this report.
After harrowing journeys through smoke and flames, evacuees from Yellowknife are arriving in Alberta.
Yesterday there was so many uncertainties, so my group of friends, we just got together and we decided that, hey, we gotta go.
Everything is devastating, but all we can do is pray.
Their journey about 700 kilometers, part of which through an active fire. High Level, the first community providing respite. An evacuation center set up in a sports complex.
As soon as they seen those cots get to the door, it's like, okay, everyone, we need to get everyone together. We need to set out these cots. We need a blanket and pillow, and we got to get back on the phone with the caterers to get the food ordered. So it's becoming a part of our summer and what we do.
5,000 people are being put on evacuation flights, heading more than 1,500 kilometers away from home to Calgary, where its emergency response has been activated.
Initially, we are looking at hotels and other spaces that are usable before we get to opening reception centers. We're not at that spot yet.
Just outside High Level, a community is forming. Dozens of evacuees who fled Hay River and Paradise Gardens, setting up RVs and tents on a friend's property, dubbing it the evacuation commune.
Are you guys hanging today?
Kevin Wallington, who came here from Hay River, is helping with the logistics.
My desire is to run back in and to be there to help. And so I've had to come to terms with the role that I need to play is here.
Those who have escaped the immediate danger, already anxious about what will remain when they're able to return home.
Even if things come back green again, things grow up, you're still going to have that reminder, these dead trees standing in amongst the forest, and a reminder that this happened and that it's changed our community. In ways that we don't know yet, right? We'll find out in the years to come.
For now, evacuees say being surrounded by friends and family is helping them cope with this crisis. Madeline Cummings, CBC News, High Level, Alberta.
To Saskatchewan now, where we're hoping to find out more about the deaths of 2 people in Broadview. They were found dead yesterday inside of a home in the small community about 150 kilometers east of Regina. RCMP say the 52-year-old man and 54-year-old woman were known to each other. They are not releasing their names. RCMP say there is no threat to the public, but they are asking people in Broadview to stay away from the 900 block of Front Street while police conduct their investigation. It took days for Saskatoon to shovel out from a major snowstorm over Christmas last year. Now we've learned it will take the city years to pay off the cost of the cleanup. The city activated its emergency response as 9 centimeters of snow fell over 24 hours. That cost them $18 million. The city is thinking of paying off $5 million in one chunk, then chipping away at the remainder with a 10-year internal loan. It's also planning to put aside money every year for a contingency fund for future snowstorms. The fences around Regina City Hall are staying up for now. They were put up nearly 3 weeks ago after police cleared out a homeless encampment. The city manager says the decision to keep the fences comes down to safety and money. The city wants to repair damage to the grounds, which could cost an estimated $60,000. But the parks budget is tapped out. There's no timeline for when the fence will come down. The government of Saskatchewan is revamping its employment standards, and some restaurant servers say it's time for new rules on tipping. Right now, restaurant owners in this province don't have to hand over tips to the people who earn them. As Laura Sharpaletti reports, many want that to change.
When you tip at a restaurant, who gets the money? Not just the server. It also goes to other workers, even the restaurant owners. But Restaurants Canada says owners should never get a cut of tips.
Tips belong to employees. Without question, tips belong to employees.
Would you like the short stack or the tall stack?
Tips are regulated in 6 Canadian jurisdictions, but not in Saskatchewan. There are no rules that prevent owners from scooping up the tips, but former and current servers say that needs to change.
We had a boss who would take all of the tips from all of the servers and hold on to them for sometimes a couple months at a time, and then they would redistribute them. But I could see how many tips I was bringing in per day, and they were not being, like, I was getting back a fraction of what I was earning, a very small fraction of what I would earn in like a week.
How small a fraction? Laura Chivica says they would bring in around $100 in tips per night, but only get tipped out around $500 every 2 months. They say servers often feel powerless to fight the system.
I think when you're living below the poverty line, when your paychecks are barely covering your rent and your food, it's really hard. You can't just take 2 weeks off and get behind on rent. It doesn't work. You can't get behind on your bills because you'll never catch up.
Another server says, sometimes I have new staff in the kitchen who mess up and I still have to give them a tip even if I don't get one. It makes no sense to me considering their wage is already higher than a server who always makes minimum wage. If you do not tip on a bill, you should know that the server is paying your percentage of tip that goes to the rest of the staff. All managers will deny the fact, but if you look at it logically, that is the reality. Restaurants Canada says it supports provincial regulation and legislation around tipping in Saskatchewan.
That really does promote interprovincial harmonization and provide some clarity to both employers and employees. That'll be key.
People have until the end of October to give their feedback to the Employment Standards Review by letter or by email. Laura Sharpaletti, CBC News, Regina.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation says the provincial and federal governments are guzzling too many tax dollars at the gas pump. The lobby group is calling on the province and Ottawa to cut gas taxes. It says between federal and provincial taxes, consumers are paying up to 47 cents per litre in taxes. The Taxpayers Federation agrees with Premier Scott Moe that the federal carbon tax is too costly, but it wants Moe's government to cut its excise tax, which is 5 cents more than the federal version.
The Saskatchewan government also charges a gas tax of 15 cents per litre, and the Premier rightly and regularly calls out the cost and financial pain that the carbon tax causes, but continues to charge Saskatchewan drivers a gas tax of 1 cent more. So that's why we're calling on the Premier to step up and cut gas taxes and make life more affordable for Saskatchewanians.
The Federation says other provinces like Alberta and Ontario have trimmed gas taxes. The Saskatchewan government says its excise tax has remained at 15 cents per litre since 1993. It points out that revenues go toward maintaining and repairing provincial roadways. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have hit a slump not just in their recent matches, but at practice too. The team has lost 4 of their 5 games. In practice today, head coach Craig Dickinson called out his players for not giving it their all. He says the team's been okay, and okay doesn't cut it.
Seemed like we were slow getting from drill to drill. I got to do a better job of getting them moving. The heat did get us a little bit today, but who knows? Maybe the tape shows something different. But I felt like we wasted some time today, and we don't have any time to waste.
The Riders play BC on Sunday. The last time they met, the Riders lost 19-9. Dickinson recalls the Riders putting up a strong defense in that game, which he says is what they'll need this time around to cinch a win. The Cooperators Centre in Regina has been host to the Box Lacrosse National Championships all week. 1,200 players aged 11 to 21 are competing across 7 championships. You have until Saturday to catch a game, but weather specialist Ethan Williams is there right now checking out the action. He joins us after the break.
This weather update is brought to you by Titan Automotive, proud member of the Capital Automotive Group.
Weather specialist Ethan Williams joins us live now from the Cooperators Centre. Ethan, have you managed to catch some lacrosse? Doesn't seem too hard. It's right behind you there.
Yeah, that's right. Some players warming up, Natasha, and we just watched the Team Saskatchewan U15 males unfortunately take a 3-1 loss against Team Quebec, but lots of games still to go, and I'm joined now by Bridget Pottle with the Saskatchewan Lacrosse Association Executive Director. Bridget, thank you for joining us. How has this tournament been going so far?
It's been an amazing experience having all 40 teams right across the country. It's been phenomenal. The kids are having fun. You know, we're hearing them come and say how much fun they're having here, and whether it's the vendors, the experience, just all being together, it's just really great.
Now this is a combination of about 7 different national championships. That's big. Why put them all together?
Realistically, just to bring everyone together, right? Why not showcase the sport? Lacrosse is an amazing sport. You know, we have families. It's such a tight-knit community that have multiple kids playing multiple different championships. So bring it all together. And, you know, I especially love watching the young ones. I've watched, the older teams come out and line up a little tunnel for the young kids to come and high-five as they run out. And the young kids are staying and watching the older ones. And that mentorship, they're making friends from other provinces. And it's just a really great facility. Obviously, lacrosse is the main highlight, but I've been loving watching in the halls and stuff, kids running around, getting to know each other, making friends. I mean, that's what it's about at the end.
And what's it been like to add the U13 female division this year as well?
Oh, it's been amazing. Our girls, actually, shout out to our girls, got the very first official goal of the U13 first National Female Festival. So our girls definitely put us a little bit in the history books today, but it's just been really great to offer something for our girls at that age. Obviously, they could always go in the co-ed division, but, female athletes at that 11, 12, they want to play together. So this is an opportunity for them to play at the same level as their, co-ed counterparts and just have the opportunity for themselves.
That's great. Well, Bridget, we appreciate you stopping by, and I know you're very busy. Thanks so much for being here.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming out.
Bridget Pottle with the Saskatchewan Lacrosse Association. And if you're coming down here tonight, Boy, it is a hot one across southern Saskatchewan. Let's take a look now at our current temperatures across the province, and you can see still mid-30s throughout west central and southwestern Saskatchewan. We have definitely had some hot temperatures there today, and that is where we are seeing our heat warnings still in place tonight, kind of in south central and southwestern sections there. Also do have the air quality advisories in effect for that part of the province. That's actually from wildfires in BC, and the fires in the Northwest Territories that we've been hearing about still causing reduced air quality in the north of the province, where we are seeing those advisories there. A big change from 24 hours ago in southwestern Saskatchewan, where temperatures have increased by 5 to 10 degrees when you compare daytime highs today from yesterday. Yesterday, these numbers were actually going in the opposite direction because it was so much cooler than it was the day before. Now, in terms of that smoke that we are seeing, we're going to continue to see that move into the province as we head through the night tonight and probably into tomorrow as well. And even through the weekend, fires from both BC and the Northwest Territories causing reduced smoke or reduced air quality, rather, kind of here and there. Very tough to forecast exactly where we're going to be seeing this, but a lot of us definitely going to be seeing those probably hazy skies at least, if not some more reduced air quality. Now, in terms of our overall forecast, high pressure beginning to move out tonight, and that allows low pressure to move in, which will be dropping temperatures as we head into tomorrow into central Saskatchewan, and could also be bringing some pop-up showers and thunderstorms here and there. More organized rain begins to move in as we head into Saturday morning. But look at that, another area of high pressure will come and clear things out, hopefully for the remainder of the weekend. A few severe storms possible tomorrow in Saskatoon and west central Saskatchewan and portions of the northern grain belt, looking for strong winds to kind of be the primary threats there, with some possible large hail at times up to nickel size, but that definitely isn't the largest threat, I think, tomorrow, and possibly some downpours in there as well. But that system going to pick up winds a bit from the south tonight, will push the smoke northward, and then really getting breezy again from kind of the north and northwest as we head through tomorrow. On the backside of that low pressure system as we head into Saturday, still going to be seeing those breezy northwest winds. Not good, unfortunately, for those fires, forest fire smoke conditions. Regina, another hot one tomorrow with those breezy winds. A sharp temperature drop off Saturday after that low passes us by. And that's kind of where we remain, really, for kind of the rest of the weekend. Saskatoon, we actually could see some measurable rainfall come the beginning of next week after a cooler day tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud here and there, and then warming up. But for tonight, Natasha, the heat is building in the Cooperators Center as these teams begin to file in and get ready for the next game.
Awesome. Enjoy yourself, Ethan.
Shot shoot on a line to left and gone!
Kids from North Regina began their Little League World Series quest in Pennsylvania today. The team from Asia Pacific was out to a commanding lead early after that home run in the third inning. Team Canada's defense stepped it up, but they just couldn't mount the comeback. They lost their opener 6-0. Team Canada next plays Saturday against Team Europe Africa. We'll be back after the break.
When it comes to your news, you want up-to-the-minute access. Anytime, anywhere. Get the facts straight from the source. Download the free CBC News app or visit cbcnews.ca for news you can trust.
Welcome back. A television series that teaches children the Cree language and culture is getting a second season. The Saskatoon production company gave CBC News a behind-the-scenes look. Ashwarya Duda reports.
Hey, my girl. How was your medicine picking with Coco?
It was very good. We picked sweetgrass, and while we were picking, she said that we are related to everything. What does that mean?
It's called Stories of the North. Actor Morris Cook is a fluent Cree speaker who plays Mushum, and two girls, including Maya Hoskins' fiddler seen here, play his granddaughters. In each episode, he teaches them a new Cree word and the cultural context.
This is phenomenal because as a Cree speaker, as we all know in this country, languages are dying at an alarming rate. That's not excluding Cree, even though we're the largest Indigenous speaking people in Canada, we're a threat too.
The show is about more than words. It explores the concept of each word and how it fits into the Cree way of life.
You're always asking your mushing.
Producers from Campfire Stories video production company say season 2 will focus on relationships with animals, the planet, and each other.
It's important that we pass on our knowledge. And a lot of times our knowledge and our traditions is always steeped in our language.
And I think it's pretty great that people my age and like people that are younger get to learn more like Cree language of kind of like what I'm learning.
We have for cranberries and Cree is
Cook says concepts such as Ogawe Mas Ki, Cree for Mother Earth, will help children understand the importance of preserving the environment.
My hope is that my children and their children and so on, generations down the line, will have some words that will survive on, and this is one way.
Wasqueechus.
Wasqueechus.
The new season will come out early next year. Ashwarya Duda, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Ethan joins us again with another look at our forecast. Hi, Ethan.
Hey, Natasha, and tomorrow morning in Regina, we'll be looking at a mix of sun and cloud, and we are looking to be warm and windy. Southeast gusts picking up as we head through the morning. There is a chance of an afternoon thunderstorm, and again, we'll likely be over 30 degrees, but those west winds likely going to be close to 50. For Saskatoon, or 60, I should say. For Saskatoon, looking a little cooler tomorrow morning, mix of sun and cloud at 19 degrees. And again, probably topping out in the mid-20s tomorrow. There is a chance of a storm for you as well as we head through the afternoon. Now, tonight is the first night of Saskatoon Folk Fest, and if you are headed out there, a warm one, 26 degrees, a little breezy. Probably won't have to worry too much about the rain gear, though, because it should be mostly sunny or mostly clear for those conditions. And Natasha, we have a couple of Team Sask U17 games happening here tonight. The females are going to be taking the rink here in just a few minutes, and then the males are going to be taking the rink right after that at 8 o'clock. So lots of action happening down here tonight at the Cooperator Center in Regina.
Awesome. I'll be cheering them on from the studio. One of Regina's oldest trees is coming down. The city says it has weakened to the point that it's a threat to other trees and park users. Regina became a city in 1903. That's roughly the same time this tree was planted. Now it's surrounded by Victoria Park. The city's forest department says it's not the only tree that's suffering.
We're not necessarily taking more trees down per se that are American elm, but we have had significant drought the last 5 years throughout Regina that is playing a major part in stressing the trees. So drought because we haven't had a lot of snow, because we haven't had a lot of rain, and of course really hot weather.
The tree is scheduled to be taken down on Sunday. Schroeder says the wood will be donated to a local Indigenous community to be used for ceremony, and the trunk will be saved for a future community-based art project. Well, that's it for us tonight. For news anytime, head to cbc.ca/Sask, or you can subscribe to the CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel. Ethan and I will be back with more local news at 11. Thanks for watching and have a great night.